Competition is ubiquitous. Firms compete in the marketplace for a larger share of profit. Animals and plants compete in the natural world to use limited resources like watering holes and soil nutrients. Candidates for high office compete with each other to attract the largest number of voters. Nations compete with each other either peacefully through sporting events like the World Cup and the Olympics, or through violent means as they engage in military operations against each other. There is hardly an aspect of life where competition is not present. Competition is not an intrinsically bad thing. By children competing in intramural sports, for example, they learn the importance of working together as a team toward a common goal, and can come to grips with the fact that sometimes, even when you have done your very best, you do not win. And, hopefully, they can learn that while competition will likely always be a part of their lives, simply winning a competition should not be their primary goal in life. Leaders are often called upon to be the chief cheerleaders of their organizations in competitions. It would be scandalous if, for example, the CEOs of Coke and Pepsi were caught drinking their rival companies' products. Rather, the leaders are expected to put forward their organization as the best possible organization and worthy of greater loyalty than any other. This, hopefully, will both stoke the ardor of those already committed to that organization and will help sway the undecided to their side. This sort of cheerleading is not unheard of in the church either. Church leaders, especially pastors, are often looked to as the primary spokespeople to attract new members and to keep up the excitement of the members that are already a part of a local church. This is fine as far as it goes. However, unfortunately, it often goes too far. Church leaders begin to think that they are in an unspoken competition with the leaders of other congregations in their neighborhood or in their denomination. There is a subtle seduction that draws these leaders to want to present their own congregations as the best possible choice for all comers over and against the other congregations. Church leaders can fall into the notion that church attendees are a scarce commodity that they must compete with one another to attract so that their congregation can win compared to other congregations. Or, even more dangerous, they can come to believe that their own understanding of Jesus Christ is the single most faithful understanding and that all others are doctrinally insufficient. The psalm today offers an antidote to this sort of leadership. It reminds us that the counsel of the Lord stands forever, the thoughts of his heart to all generations. In making this claim, the psalmist reminds us that all people throughout time and space have access to God's wisdom and ways. Indeed, the psalmist points out that creation itself was spoken into being by God, so the wisdom of God is infused into the very warp and woof of the nature of creation. The wise and faithful leader, then, is not one that derides others for being less in tune with the counsels of God, cheering on his or own congregation to demonstrate its superiority and over and against others. Rather, the wise and faithful leader is the one who, presiding over people who are happy to stand in the heritage of God, as the psalmist puts it, leads his or her congregation to recognize and discern and celebrate where the counsels of God are manifest in other congregations. Indeed, in our pluralistic world, this even extends to discerning and celebrating where the counsels of God are visible in those who are not within the Christian faith. This does not mean that the leader is any less committed to the faith of Jesus Christ. Far from it. Rather, the leader recognizes that the world God created and redeemed in Jesus Christ is also a world filled with God's counsels. Acknowledging this allows for the leader to move the congregation to enter into dialogue rather than competition, modeling the leadership of Jesus Christ, who himself often helped his questioners plumb their own thoughts and beliefs rather than attacking them by considering himself superior to them.